We're looking forward to a very special concert to commemorate and celebrate the life of Queen Elizabeth II. And our conductor on the evening for both the Swansea Philharmonic and the British Sinfonietta is Jonathan Rogers, and we catch him in the car, Jonathan, in between lectures.
In between lectures, the glamorous life of a lecturer in South Wales.
Now then, we're gonna put you to. It's going to be a big night, isn't it? And are you looking forward to it?
Oh, very much so. It's going to be one of the biggest nights for the choir. Certainly, I've been with the choir now for 7 years or so. You know, it should be a really big platform for us. There's some fantastic music, and you know, even in the planning for what was going to be a celebration of the 70-year reign. Obviously, there's added poignancy now in the evening, so we've got some fantastic music to perform.
Yeah, and that, you know, we've all been aware that this might have happened, that the programme would have to be changed. So for you, in the last couple of weeks, you had to get around a new programme. But, I mean, Fauré's Requiem is something that you know and love?
Yeah, it's one of the main choral works that, as a youngster, you get introduced to because it's quite accessible as a singer. Sometimes, you know, there are corners which you've got to be careful of. It can be a bit trickier than people think at times, but it'll be lovely to do it with two fantastic soloists, and the plays of the British Sinfonietta will be tremendous as ever. Now
then, you obviously you work in college as well, so music is your whole life. And as if it's not enough to be doing it all day, then you go out and you work with the Swansea Philharmonic, and that's become a big part of your life, isn't it?
It has, yeah. You know, I've been the conductor of Dunnet Male Choir since 2007, and then
I almost forgot.
Been with Swansea Philharmonic since
I almost forgot.
Then Swansea Philharmonic since 2015. So keeps me out of mischief. But no, they're a great bunch, and you know, we did some really, really exciting work. The choir celebrated the 60th anniversary in 2019, and we performed Bach's Mass in B minor, which is a huge undertaking, which we did really, really well. At the end of 2019, we performed Benjamin Britten's War Requiem the year before that to commemorate the 100 years at the end of the Great War. So we were sort of riding the crest of a wave, and then in March 2020, you know, everything fell silent. So there was a fear that it would take a significant amount of work to sort of catch up on the loss of momentum, I suppose. But you know, we've come back really, really well. We've been back in face-to-face rehearsals now and performances for a year. We have performed some Carl Jenkins already this year. We performed his Armed Man back in April of this year, which, of course, given the events in Ukraine, has had added poignancy. And, of course, we've got the Carl Jenkins Commission to look forward to in this concert as well.
Yeah, so a new work. And you've obviously you have the score, you know what's happening, and the choir are rising to the occasion?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've done plenty of rehearsal of it. And and it'll be a lovely experience for the choir to be conducted by Carl for that first ever performance. And then the text is very, very fitting, particularly given the recent events. So it's something to look forward to hugely, I'm sure.
Yeah, because as well as the commission from Sir Carl, Graham Davis is the chosen poet. Carl has written with him before, but Graham obviously knows the royal family very well. I think he's one of the private secretaries for the King now, rather than the Prince of Wales, and a poet in his own right. So looking forward to that. The festival, was it part of your growing up?
It was. I in fact, one of my earliest experiences with the festival was when I was a schoolboy singing with the West Glamorgan Youth Choir, and the Philharmonic actually performed in the Brangwyn, and the West Glamorgan Youth Choir would often, if there was a youth choir required in certain performances, the youth choir would be used. So that was my first sort of experience of the Brangwyn as a venue, and this festival, which sort of had this huge legacy and heritage. And it's only when I got older that I actually realised what a pedigree the festival has, in its history, with the likes of Vaughan Williams coming down to conduct concerts back in the 40s, and it's a really important thing, and to do this in conjunction with the festival, I think, gives it that added gravitas.
And also, just looking, I'm currently chair. And it's been a very difficult couple of years for everybody. Funding is obviously going to be a major issue going forward as well. And I know that on behalf of the board, we're delighted that you, as a Swansea resident and the Swansea Philharmonic, and we're working with David Danford, who's put together the British Sinfonietta for us. Having people who care about music in the city is very important, I think, going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are lots of us. I'm in a very fortunate position that I'm working in the college, and Gower College Swansea is one of the biggest providers in the region. But I've got that sort of link to lots of youngsters across a wide geographical area. But there are some fantastic people, working in the schools, working with choirs, working in all genres of music across the region. So the expertise is certainly there. It's not a few of us, and it's just making sure we tap into that talent as much as we can. To ensure that the festival moving forward has a longevity. And
also, I suppose that's why there have been so many great singers and musicians. Eisteddfods and concerts is something of our heritage, but it put people on a platform at a very early age. It gave them a chance to shine and to experience being in front of an audience, and they've gone on, to be worldwide, world-class musicians and singers.
Oh, absolutely. And certainly the pedigree of musicians and people generally from the arts in this area, it never ceases to amaze me of the heights that people have reached over the last 50 to 100 years, but particularly that doesn't seem to be on the wane at all. Mm-hmm. We've got singers now who are doing incredibly well. An ex-student of the college is now in the Royal Opera House again this autumn. Natalia Romanu, she's doing her principal role again. She's sang principal at the ENO as well. And Natalia, she was a soloist in the Royal Albert Hall in the Prom series just recently. And I'm ensuring that I'm selling the alumni of our college and the alumni of the region to our youngsters. So there's that sense of aspiration is there. Eileen Manahan Thomas, another one who's done a lot with the BBC and has been back as a soloist with both choirs that I'm involved in a number of times. Again, an ex-student of Ysgol Gyfun Gŵyr and the college here, and before progressing to Cambridge. So there are these success stories that we just have to continually remind our young people about. And that's the thing, it's harnessing that pathway, I suppose, and making sure our youngsters are aware of it.
Terrific. Okay, well, we're looking forward. It's October the 29th, a concert to commemorate and celebrate the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Jonathan Rogers will be conducting most of the concert, except when Sir Carl comes up and nicks the baton off you for a couple of his own tunes.
Yes, that'll be time for me to have a quick cup of tea in the changing room.
Put your feet up.
The thing is, I don't want to miss the music either, so I might have to just perch in the corridor and have a listen. So,
terrific.
But no, I'm really, really looking forward to it, and it's only 3 or so weeks away now. So it's lots of homework between now and then.
Fantastic. Jonathan Rogers from Gower College, but also conducting the Swansea Philharmonic and the British Sinfonietta for our concert. We look forward to seeing you there as well. Tickets now on sale if you go to swanseafest.com.